So tonight, known gangster, Dog Paw, and his co-accused co-convict freed by Court of Appeal. Jamaica Labour Party Member of Parliament George Wright presented himself for questioning in relation to his true colours. Also coming up, Beachy Stout will know whether or not he will have a successful bail hearing on April 30. So that and more, and in order for you to remain in the know about what is going on in Jamaica, you need to join the family. So I'm reminding you that if you're new to the channel, if it is your first time over here, please I'm asking you to subscribe, plus click the notification bell, and while doing so select option all, so that way you'll be first in line to be notified about each and every activities on our channel. And also remember to give this video a like for YouTube algorithm. Blessings and more beatitude. Stay safe. So the Jamaica Labour Party Westmoreland Central MP, Mr. George Wright, has presented himself to the police a short while ago for an interview based on his bedbug syndrome, after he was seen in a viral video showing Jamaica that he's also one of those men that can repeat a Candice Jackson's situation.
Big one, excuse me, man.
So there you have it, as he arrived at the Freeport police station in St. James, and he was accompanied by his attorney, Abel Dunfoot. So let's see what they're able to do. As we all know, he's being investigated in relation to the beatdown of a woman that was captured on closed-circuit television, CCTV cameras, and after he was named as a person of interest by the police, he had just decided to turn himself over after they have taken all the necessary time to plan their next move as their best way forward to beat this case. And if the Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, is really serious about non-violent activities across all spectrum, then he will relieve this man of his position and set an example going forward to reassure the Jamaican people that no form of balony will be accepted, no matter your affiliation. And shows that whatever you have said in the past was not a twaddle, you understand me, and set an exemplary example for all well-being Jamaicans. Known Jamaican gangster Christopher Linton, more widely or popularly known as Dog Paw, has had his conviction thrown out by the Court of Appeal this afternoon, while his friend, his co-convict Michael Allen, was also freed. Both men were convicted in 2013. They were each sentenced to 15 years of custodial time for illegal possession of a firearm and 15 years for discharging rounds with intent. They were accused of shooting at two policemen traveling in a service vehicle along the Tavern Drive, St. Andrew on April of 2010. They both denied the allegations at their trial, say it was untrue. However, they were found guilty, so their attorneys subsequently filed an appeal, and in a verbal decision handed down today, the Court of Appeal said the identification evidence was unreliable. For example, in other words, it was not credible enough to substantiate their conviction. Both men were represented on appeal by attorneys Robert Fletcher and Patrick Peterkin. Peterkin was very talkative enough to say that the criminals have no other sentences serving, so once the Court of Appeal order reaches their place of stay, they should be released either this afternoon or tomorrow. And to Dog Paw, don't feel as if you're going to be back on the streets of Jamaica to continue from where you left off. This time, you won't last. As you slip, you are out, darkness. You're like the yolk of an egg. You are now in a fragile space, and you should not be given any chance. If you approaches another member of the security force, they must ensure that you're on your way back to that dark, cursed passage out of which you came from. Too many violence producers walk in the streets of Jamaica after committing acts of violence, so it's best you wipe them out and save taxpayers and the country. Now over to the big bad beachy stout. We have seen where the Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout McDonald, who is accused of plotting the premeditated takeout of his two wives in separate incidents, is to know his fate on April 30 as to whether or not he will be granted bail. The fate of his co-accused Oscar Barnes in the dismissal of his second wife will also be decided on that date in the Home Circuit Court. In the first matter, a cold case, the 67-year-old McDonald is charged in connection with the killing of Merlene McDonald. She picked up a few rounds outside her home in Boundbrook, Portland in May of 2009. She was later pronounced. In that case, it is also alleged that he paid a police detective to get rid of her, which was the first wife, Merlene McDonald, after the marriage crumbled and she left the matrimonial home. In the other case involving his second wife, Tonya McDonald, he is charged along with the Barnes in connection with the July 20, 2020 dismissal after Tonya's partially burnt leftovers was found with her throat open beside her burnt car in the Sherwood Forest Main Road in Portland last July. Another man, Denverlin Minot, said to be the contract hitler, was also arrested and charged but pled guilty in the Home Circuit Court last year September and was sentenced to 19 years in custodial time. The man who was contracted to do the job, Denverlin Minot, in a witness statement claimed that he was offered $3 million by the Portland businessman to get rid of Tonya to ensure she becomes a memory. However, he revealed in the statement that he hired another man to carry out the crime, and he watched as the man repeatedly pierced the 32-year-old businesswoman to her last breath. So during Tuesday's bail hearing before the Justice Vinette Graham Hallen, McDonald's lead attorney Bert Samuels argued that his client had been diagnosed with clinical depression. Clinical depression as in temporary episodes of sadness, and it moves from there to severe persistent depression, major depressive disorder, and rightfully so he deserves it after all what Tonya's family is going through. Anyways, Samuels, his lawyer, told the court that Tonya had some issue of entanglement and was in the process of ending a relationship with a jealous lover around the time of her dismissal. He added that on the night she was erased, the reason why she was found in that location was because she had gone to Sherwood Forest to purchase a gun to avenge her father's erasal, and that she had kept it a secret from her husband. According to the attorney, his client, Beachy Stout, did not have a motive to erase Tonya. While in the case of the first wife, the lawyer further submitted that the allegations against his client were like legal fiction that had been resurrected after 12 years. The prosecution, however, objected to the application, citing grounds such as the seriousness of the allegations, and Tonya Hamilton's family do need some form of appeasement so they can feel satisfied as if justice has been served. And like my granny would have said, not because, but still for all. So please do remember that if you're new to the channel and it is your first time over here, please I'm asking you to subscribe, plus click the notification bell, and while doing so select option all, so that way you'll be first in line to be notified about each and every activities on our channel. And also remember to give this video a like for YouTube algorithm. Blessings and more beatitude. Stay safe.
While thousands of Jamaicans stand in long lines at blitz sites across the island to receive their first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, many Jamaicans remain on the sidelines. Some citizens have made known their decision to not take any of the available vaccines for the coronavirus. Others are not so sure of whether or not they will be getting the jab. Vaccine hesitancy has been identified as a possible threat to Jamaica achieving herd immunity. We ask a number of Portland residents who have been eligible to take the jab for some time now why they've avoided the vaccine line.
Me not decide to take it in at the first half. If there's anything, after a while, compulsory have to take it, I will take it. But right now, me not have no intention of taking it, right?
I can tell you if I'm willing or I'm not willing. You know. Me go and look where I go on, go and watch where I go on, and if me I take the vaccine, it must be from Cuba.
Another man says he knows someone who has taken the jab recently and is waiting to see how that person reacts.
I'm still thinking about it. Observing, watching the outcome, of those who have taken it. But I'm taking time to decide.
They all admit, however, that they have not done any form of research on the vaccine.
My research, what I need to do is who get the injection, the reaction from that. I don't need nothing more. Just the reaction from that.
Conspiracy theories have been identified as another challenge, and some citizens have been calling for more public education in hope of seeking clarity on the pros and cons of the jab. The Ministry of Health and Wellness announced that more than 100,000 Jamaicans have received their first dose of the Oxford-AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine so far. Christine Forbes for CVM Live.